Welcome back to Canadian Disc Golf Productions. This is the back nine of the first round of the Trigg Memorial, as you see there. I am Chris Brown, joined with...
And I am Galen Naidu-Harris.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing more of this awesome course.
This is again, I said it's the back nine, so you haven't seen the front nine, go and watch that. This is a course called Screaming Heads in Berks Falls, about 3 hours north of Toronto.
And why would that be? Could it be because of these screaming heads that I see all over the disc golf course?
Is that what they are?
Must
I thought
be.
they were ghosts.
They kind of look like that, don't they?
So, yes, that is, I'm assuming, why the owner of the property, whose name is blanking on me right now, I'm sorry about that, but the owner of the property has built all these concrete sculptures all over the property, and they are integrated into the disc golf course.
Yeah, so cool, so unique. And Thomas Hum's back here, putting up a 2 for the second video you're watching at Trigg Memorial. And so is Jody Slade.
2 for 2.
2 for 2. And Gouldy is looking for his peace sign. Can't find it.
Not looking for peace today.
No.
Hole 10, it is 320 feet. It is blind shot up the hill. So you throw up the hill, get to the top of this hill, and then you have to get it to stop before it goes too long past the hill.
I was going to say, this is not a hole you want to overthrow here.
No, this is rollaway central. Lots of cage hits, lots of chain outs, lots of anything that falls and starts rolling. It just does not stop.
Yeah, so I'm guessing a lot of our folks are going to be disking down a little bit from what they would normally throw that distance and just trying to keep it from rolling all the way down off the tee.
Honestly, I feel like this one, because you're throwing so high uphill off the tee, you do need actually disc up to get the distance on itself.
I don't think I caught that we were throwing uphill.
Yes, this is
so
uphill
first and then avoiding the downhill at the end.
That's what makes it so hard. Also, the rain.
Yeah, the rain is not ideal.
Not helping their cause. As you can see, Thomas there throwing an annex and just not getting enough on it, not throwing it high enough. Gouldy taking the more common play, the hyzer outright, but you still need to put so much power to get anywhere near the basket. He's going to be on a range where he needs to think about if he runs that and he misses.
Yeah, that's going to get tricky for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Jody, yeah, you can see these guys just mashed on these discs and coming up short of 320. So yeah, that's got to be a lot more uphill than I'm realizing.
It's also tough because you can't see the basket from the tee, so they don't know if those are parked or 60 short or 40 long, because it's just, you don't know what happens after it crests the hill.
Yeah, and we see Jody playing smart here, I think, and laying up and looking to collect a 3.
Did Thomas shut off the rain?
I think he might have. That's an advanced move. I haven't learned that one in disc golf yet.
As you see Gouldy here at that circle's edge, the 40-foot range where he could run this and give it a healthy run and just try to get the 2, which I'm almost certain. This little floaty run, that's the smart play, but
floaty bed. Yeah.
Less chance of it going in. Jody tapping in a 3. They'll all be tapping in their 3s here.
Yeah, I think they're happy to collect 3s here. Maybe not happy, but they're certainly not upset about it.
More often than not, I end up in the trees on the left here, and then I keep kicking myself because they're the only trees on this hole.
Wide open hole, and you still find the only trees.
There's 100 feet to the right that you can throw into, but let's put it in these trees, and they're hard to get out of.
Why not? That's how you get better, right? You challenge yourself.
Yes, that's what they tell me. I've been challenging myself for 10 years now. Hole 11, I'm not sure if they played OB, but usually that line to the left plays OB. I'm assuming not right now. It's just a stock 275 hyzer. This is one of the ones you're going to need to get because there's nothing in the way. It's just about the slight slope of the hill.
Yeah, I mean, for all these guys are looking to collect on this one for sure. 275 feet, wide open. Looking at some of the holes we've been playing, you'll be kicking yourself if you don't get this one after having difficulty with
a little too left. That's the common play here. You just you try to be too cute. It doesn't look as far as it is, so you come up short. You don't give it enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is just exactly what we see Gouldy doing, but maybe gets away from a little bit. Just a high stock hyzer with an overstable disc, but that one just stays wide. I wonder if he slipped on the grass there, because that was a unique throw for Gould. He's not. Yeah, no, I don't think he got the execution he wanted there.
As Jody tries to compensate and pulls it right as well.
Yeah, and looks like there was some wind pushing those discs back there too, coming left to right off the tee. So
I say this is a must get, but I always have trouble with it. So I feel you boys. I understand. It's so easy. It's so there. It's just something about it optically really messes with you.
Yeah, and this is a case I think. Well, I don't want to presuppose, but I'm not guessing it's going to be super likely any of our players connect here. You sort of have to apply a solid mental approach while you're playing, because there's nothing that feels worse, or well, I should say there are a few things that feel worse than missing a must get and finding the fortitude to just, strap yourself back in, get going on the next hole, and not take it personally. It can be challenging sometimes.
Yeah, as I said, it's a must get, and they all miss it. So, if the feature card here is not getting it, maybe the whole field kind of missed it.
Hey, it's easy for us to say must get here in the commentator's booth, but
oh yeah,
I
can say what I want here. No one will see me play
it. Yeah, exactly. It's easy for me to say, 275 must get easy. Show up and take a 4 or 12 or something stupid. What do we got here for hole 12?
Hole 12. The blimp crash, I think, is
Planet Express.
Yeah, Planet Express if you want. 291 feet. You're playing across the fairway of 11 actually, so hopefully we don't see any interference, but it's way uphill. You're throwing max distance, and once you get to crash or the blimp, you are Planet Express. You're hoping to make it through one of the pegs.
Yeah. Looks like Thomas.
I don't think he even made it to the dome.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I thought maybe he made it there and caught something, but then when we looked at the reaction of the disc, it looked like he was a little short. Maybe just caught the ground, a spot that looked like the blimp.
I love taking a disc really high up into this thing, because if you hit on the top, it could plinko down into the right spot.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Gould catches one.
Punches through. Very nice.
Oh.
Yeah, let's see that one
again. Get to see the slow motion replay of the
focus, full reach back, commitment up high. Love it.
And then off the bar into crash. Does not have to make a putt through any of the bars.
Bar down if we were playing hockey.
Look at them talking discs in the background.
Yeah.
Jody, again, just gets over on him.
Yeah.
Looks like he's... and honestly, it's not even as bad as I thought it would be. It looked like it was going way right.
At all. Yeah, I thought that was going to be way offline, but he's just outside. Looks like he's looking high here.
Yeah, what gap he's picked. Oh,
jeez.
Almost drops it in. Man, this is so deceiving.
Wow.
So I guess the basket now is in the middle of the dome. So usually we'll play it off to the left-hand side so that you can't... If you hit the poles, you don't get much luck.
Yeah, you're still left with a bit of a look.
Mm-hmm.
Or a bit of a distance.
A bit of a challenge.
Yeah, that one.
Gouldy with a long one, not being the only one to make it in. Just comes off the cage.
A little low, tickles some chains, but doesn't stay in for him. And we'll see these guys clean up their threes.
I really like this hole. It's just, how often you get to play and throw inside structures like these. Really makes it unique.
Yeah, I've been playing a little over 2 years, and I have never thrown a hole like this, so...
I think the next one's even more. Yeah, now you gotta tee off from...
Wow, you're teeing from inside.
Inside.
That's wild.
This one here is a little bit farther away. This one's actually a big pyramid, I believe.
Yeah, just spray and pray, and then, also you have to make it 320 feet into a tight cap, because why not?
Don't hit any hands on the way by.
No.
There's the pyramid I was talking about.
Very cool.
Tough to hit the gap right off the bat. It's right there. Is Thomas going low again?
Whenever you
want. I guess if you think about it,
that's what what I'd be looking at.
Those bars are right at perfect throwing height.
Yeah, and I love the idea of a forehand here too, where you're looking at your shot the entire time. Good power there, just a little short. Might be a little pinched off, but should be easy to get up and down for 3, which is not guaranteed off this tee pad, I wouldn't think.
Mm-hmm.
Gouldy too, looking for that low forehand. Love it.
I wonder how you would take this as a backhand. Would you go high, or could you hit the same gap?
That's a good question. I find it's a little easier, at least for me, to...
That's a great shot from
Gouldy.
Gouldy.
Great shot from Gouldy, yeah. It's easier for me to get low with a forehand than a backhand. So yeah, I think I might be throwing like a high Annie shot through one of those. Yeah, it looks like that's what Jody's lining up.
Yeah,
that's where I'd be looking if I was throwing backhand, with something a little stable to overstable.
Picking out that high pentagon.
Yep. And hits it.
This is the problem with this shot, is it gets so nose up that you just can't get the 320 feet you need to really push.
Yeah, and I think that's why I would default to that low forehand for sure. Though pushing a low forehand 320 is no easy feat either.
Oh, Gouldy drops one in there. Not Gouldy. Jody.
Somebody dropped one in there anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Gouldy's drive, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Dropped a great drive in there.
Yeah, let's see if he can drop a great putt in there. And he does.
Ooh.
Almost squeaks back out, but that was a very nice putt that stayed in the basket.
After that first putt that squeaked through on hole 1.
Now you're going to be happy to take a 2 here, I think.
Oh, this is huge. This is a tough 2 to get, especially coming out of the pyramid. Let's see what Thomas actually has the left side gap, which is not what I was expecting. Or no, he's going right through the middle. He's going right through the middle.
I wasn't thinking he was going to have a look at all. There's not much there.
This is dangerous if I've ever seen it. Oh.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Realistically, the only option he had was to go through the trees. He could have laid it up and been a little more safe, but he's got quite a cushion to hold on to. So,
connects for the par.
I'm guessing only 2 strokes now ahead of Mr. Gould.
Nice putt.
Easy drop-ins.
Huge. Got to make your drop-ins.
This one, at hole 14.
These ones really look like they are screaming with the hands up like that, eh?
Hole 14. I'm not sure where they put the basket, but you want to play. Normally, you want to play a hyzer out over the water and crash in near these hands in the horse.
It looks like it's right in the middle.
Yeah, I believe.
Nice.
I believe they usually call this one high 5. I could be wrong on the name.
High 5. Yeah, it makes sense. I love it.
I could be wrong on the name, and I'm sorry. There's Rocco in the back row. Rocky 2.0 as Rocco 1 broke, but that little barge gets you from one side to the other.
Oh, so people are actually crossing.
Yeah, it's a long walk around if you want to get to the other side of the grass there.
So 348 feet, trees on the left, water on the right, and if you hit your gap between those two things, you're rewarded with a bunch of concrete sculptures to try and miss too.
Yeah, don't throw your favorite disc. It may not come back the same.
Let's see how it plays out.
Topical.
Little high, little inside.
It's tough to say where that went.
Oh, it's in the trees on the left, unfortunately. I thought he might have got away with it for a second there.
That's a common mistake because your disc goes into that water. It is deep instantly. It is not coming back. So you kind of just throw a hook and trust it to come back. And more often than not, you'll pull it inside just to keep it extra safe. Yeah. Especially if you go a B early. Then the second shot is even more difficult. This
looks like great execution from Thomas.
Gets around the horse. Hopefully he stayed in bounds. It didn't squeak out long.
Yeah, getting inside, what you were just talking about, I find I have that issue at Fireman's Park in Niagara, hole 17A. It's like 250 feet, but if you're throwing a backhand, there's way more water on the right, and I find my discs that actually wind up in the water are ones that I yank and take short left.
Yep.
Yeah. And Jody, a little short left there.
Yeah, and honestly, it looked great up until it just caught the last tree coming in, so he'll have a relatively easy up and down. Gouldy has some little bit of trickiness to kind of flex something. Or just go straight at the basket, I guess. But the water is right behind.
Yeah, that's a bold move, but executes it well. Puts it right underneath. And is that Thomas's disc right under the basket there? Oh no, that must have been something else.
Yeah, maybe some discs that were pulled out of the water.
Must be, yeah.
Oh, as he just
tough look there with that bush and having to take a knee, but gives it a great bid.
Gouldy left himself a little short, but all day making those putts.
Connects for the putt. Jody with the tap in.
Mm-hmm. So nobody capitalizing on this hole. This is a tough one. I'm not expecting not expecting everyone to birdie this one, but
this feels like the sort of hole where you'd see the odd birdie and lots of pars, the odd bogey if one gets away to the right.
Yeah, a lot of bogeys actually. It's just there's so much that can go wrong if you don't hit your line properly. 350 feet with the water on the left this time. So you're playing back the way you threw the highs around 14. You're playing that same water on your left coming up. So
I wonder if we see any of these guys take. Yeah. Oh no, that's overhand. I was gonna say. I wonder if we see some forehands here from players that have that distance.
I have seen people play the forehand up into the hillside. It's a good way to attack the basket, but if you turn your wrist or roll it over and you don't come back in, you're OB right away.
That's true. That's a good point. I'm thinking more trying to keep it in bounds at the end, but yeah, if you go OB early, then that doesn't really come into effect. Let's see what Gouldie's got here.
Throwing a huge overhand and splashes that one.
Yeah, big splash.
That's deep there. I wonder if he'll go in after it.
Tough to tell with perspective here, Chris. Is that a disc that you think likely went OB early there, or just at the end?
I'm
sure we'll find out in the middle. I'm trying to figure out where the water is relative to the players, and I'm not quite sure.
The water is 10 feet to their left, 15 feet to their left.
Oh, wow.
You are throwing along water the whole way.
Keeps it in bounds.
The thing about the backhand coming in here is you're coming in on a downhill slope. So if it hits and skips, you could skip yourself into the basket. Thomas doing a great job just matching the hillside with the flat disc. Jody just playing the safe play off to the right, up into the flat ground.
Yeah, I think that's going to be real nice.
Yeah, very early for Gouldie. Going back to the well.
I guess some of those reeds there must be water as well if he's that far off of what looks like the water to us.
Yeah, and just lays one up there. He probably just took himself back as much as he could to get out of the reed so he could have a full throw. Jody drops one in there nicely.
Yeah, we were playing UNI Toronto Club yesterday, and there were a few discs on my card that went into the reeds where off the tee we thought, hey, that might be dry, that might be reachable, but water immediately. I was thinking maybe that was what was going on here, but whatever the case, Gouldie is able to get up and down there.
Yeah, Gouldie's struggling pretty hard on this hole. Looks like he's going to be taking a 5. It's a very common score here. It's so hard to get aggressive on a 350-foot hole where the water is to your left and the hillside is to your right.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if you go OB here, it's not even a guaranteed up and down for your 4. So yeah, a lot of 5s make sense.
Mm-hmm. And you got this tree blocking the basket on any of the big hyzers coming in.
Yeah, tricky.
There is almost no way Gould will be able to see his disc. It is so deep in that area.
Thomas and Jody pretty happy taking pars here, I think.
Yeah, you don't see too many 2s on there. If you get a lot of the really good players coming out here, you'll see a couple, but it's a tough hole to hit.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. This looks like an interesting line, too.
Hole 16 is one of the simpler holes on this back half here. If you have it, it's just a spike forehand into the hillside, make your putt. The backhand's kind of tough because you have to trust your angles, but this is honestly Oh, sorry, we are playing from back here. This is tough.
Wow, 395.
395 feet. You're playing this is as full a throw as you can throw on a forehand.
What, you don't have a standard 395-foot hyzer forehand?
Yeah, no, I do. I'm talking about them.
Oh,
right?
These guys. Yeah, of course. I figured. Yeah, I have that too, of course.
Yeah, that looked great from Thomas, but 395 just doesn't seem right. I'm thinking maybe we're going because that looked more like a 280-foot forehand. So
yeah, I would agree. Wonder if maybe we've got the distance for the longer tee position if there is one.
Yeah, maybe the U-disc just got a little bit messed up when we were taking the distances out of it.
Yeah, I blame U-disc.
Always. So again, there is water left. It doesn't really come into play unless you get really aggressive. Just cool to kind of throw over this head. As Gouldy gets a really aggressive. Wide.
Looks like he's. I was gonna say it looks like he stares fairway, but not quite.
Yeah, so.
But not in too much trouble.
I don't think Gouldy put that one 400 feet, so.
No.
I'm going to say yes. That was not bad. You can see Thomas is absolutely parked.
Yeah, I like your guess on the distance there. 275, 280 sounds about right.
This is another one where if you hit basket or a chain out, you can roll down the hill.
Yeah, because you got downhill into some water there, it looks like, hey?
Yeah, it's a common theme around here, trying to get the baskets into precarious locations, so.
I love it. Course designer using every tool in his toolbox to make the holes more difficult.
Jody's got a nice little 15-footer here. Make sure his disc is dry before he goes to attempt it.
Cannot underrate the importance of keeping your putter and your putting hand dry on a day like this. So we were just saying we've had a few weekends like this lately, and it felt like for me those days got away from me as soon as either the putter or the hand wasn't getting dry anymore. It's tough to complete a round at that point. But take the extra time, even for 15 feet, stay dry, and he makes the putt.
Thomas from under a tree.
Yeah, close, but he's not able to get quite the stance I don't think he'd like.
I have full expectations that he makes this because he's Thomas.
Because he's Thomas. And he does. It's a nice birdie to get, I feel like.
Hole 17. We have the spiderweb hole. If you can look on the right-hand side, it is, I don't know what it's made out of, rebar or maybe like aircraft cable, but it's a spiderweb. Doesn't really come into play in the hole at all because everyone just goes well past it.
But it looks cool.
So
common theme with this course.
Yeah, a lot of cool looking things. So you can see you're throwing from on the other side, the green grass over there, and you got to Annie a backhand perfectly and have it flex at the right time to get parked. If it flexes too much, you're putting your disc in next to Rocco.
Yeah. Yeah, or I wonder if we're going to see some big forehands here over the water that fade out at the right time.
You can, but that tree before the basket kind of gets into the way. If you can definitely play it safe.
You're throwing like a spike forehand, you mean?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, Thomas.
Did he?
Tough to tell. I think maybe he checked up. We'll see in a second here.
Getting right down by those reeds as Jody gets over a little bit on this, but that's safe.
Comes bouncing either off a branch or off the spider web. Tough to tell. And Gouldy. Looks like he just releases that a little early, I think. That line was perfect, but just a little too far to the right.
That's the common mistake here. Just pull. He got right in the spot. I literally said this wasn't going to come into play, and Jody just had to prove me wrong.
You spoke it into existence.
Yeah. And
Jody, I think, probably looks like rebar there. Yep. Jody probably just pretty happy to get up and out.
Okay, so Tom is down by the water.
Yeah.
Looks like his disc is kind of like
it's
half in, half wet. I wonder what they called him.
I was going to say it's right on the edge there where I don't know whether that card would call that inbounds or out.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming since he played from behind it, they called him inbounds. So not bad for Thomas.
No, not at all.
Gouldy way off to the right in the, what would you call those things?
Looks like reeds to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Reeds.
That one just really wants to get up in his face.
Never an easy shot on this course, it doesn't look like.
If you get off, there's trouble to be had.
Straddle step putt. And, yeah, puts it pretty close. Stays in range for a comebacker.
Thomas to get in for his 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, so there you go. So we have him down as a 3 on the scorecard, so he must have been in bounds on the lower part there.
Yeah, it must have been.
This is a scary putt. It's severely uphill. You don't really see it on camera, but it's probably, like, you see he's below the cage and it falls out.
Jeez.
That is unfortunate for Gould.
Don't blame him for punching that disc in frustration one bit. That's it's a tough reaction off the basket and a lot of chains to hit to pop out. Jody tapping in.
Okay, our last hole of the round.
No.
All right. Hole 18. I bet you we got something interesting planned. What do we got?
Hole 18. This is a new configuration for me. I don't actually know where they're playing. This is inside the dome.
That's cool. And those tight triangles too, right up near where you're looking to get.
225 feet. Interesting finishing hole. Right on the wire reel.
Yeah, that smaller dome, those triangular shapes there can't be much wider than a disc is. That's got to be real tight to fit something in there.
Just a stock hyzer though, 225 feet. Some sort of putter, mid-range combination here. As he puts that one...
Oh, really? I'd be throwing a destroyer here.
Oh, of course. As he puts that one, I think he's outside the dome. He may not have made it all the way in.
No, I don't think so. Is that out of bounds?
I don't think so.
Okay, so just not quite where he'd like to be. But still.
Yeah, and then you got to putt through the bars instead of... I wonder if they're trying to plinko it in the top. Just try to... Oh, as he sails over it to the left.
Yeah, that's no fun.
That'd be good. You got to plinko it in and through one of the triangles and hope it falls.
Yeah, I like that idea of sort of trying to hit it up top and letting it fall down instead of coming at the side. I like the looks of this from Gouldy. Oh, just a little early, but maybe some good ground play there. He might have gotten in range.
Look at this.
Yeah, what do you even do? I think maybe you lay up to the mouth, to be honest.
I think that's a smart play. Yeah.
I think you lay up and then be very sad that you had to.
Okay, so I think they both laid up perfectly to the mouth of the basket as Gouldy hits a big pot. No, sorry, that was Brian's disc sitting on the ground.
Oh yeah, so Gould? Thomas is on the side. So I wonder if he's gonna get low here. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, he's got. It's a pretty big gap. If he's that close, it shouldn't be a problem. Assuming it's straight on. You definitely see he has to think about it twice, though.
Yeah, 100%. Connects. Nice birdie, but that's not one where you want to catch something with your hand or, have your disc just tickle one of those bars and then have to putt through it again.
A couple twos to finish off the round here.
Yeah, nice work from our card. 2 2s and a 3.
Thomas Hums, 4 down.
Wow. Great round.
I
have 0 frame of reference, but that looks like a very impressive score.
Oh, 5 down, actually. I'm mistaken. And Brian Gould, +1, and Jody, +3. This is a really scoreable course, so you would assume that they would have some better scores, but it looks like it's just
I think it must be some conditions. Yeah, the rain, the wind. 5 down, a runaway leader for now.
That was Screaming Heads. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That was one of my favorite courses around. It's definitely unique. That was the first round. Come back for the second round.
Round 1 of Trigg Memorial in the books. Yeah, looking forward to the second round. I'm Galen Naidu-Harris.
And I am Chris Brown. We will see you next time.